This is Tapestry with Miriam on Fusing My channel. And tonight we have an amazing and awesome guy that I know from Sangea Group. His name is Reckie Lloyd. He has visited our studio today, and welcome to the studio. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really great being here.
Yeah. Thank you. We've been crossing paths all the time, and I've been like, you have to come. We have to talk, and all that. So, can you just tell our viewers who you are, where you're from, and then we can start talking about, everything else about your career.
I'm Reckie Lloyd. I was born in Liberia, West Africa, and I moved to Ghana when I was about 11 years old because of the civil war in my country at the time. So we moved to Ghana and lived there as refugees for about 6 years before coming to Canada. Yeah.
Well, I've been to Ghana.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been to Ghana. I should go to Liberia one of these days.
Yeah.
Have you been back yet?
I haven't been back.
Yeah.
We were planning on going back. Before COVID happened, we were planning on going back, but it would be nice to get back there. Yeah.
That's really good. Now, you are part of the Sangea dance group and singing and dance group. What is Sangea? Who is Sangea?
Sangea is I would say now it is an academy, a drumming and dance academy that uses West African drumming and dance, also art, to inspire and share the culture of West African music. I would say parts of the culture because it's a wide variety. Yeah. So we use music, dance, and art to share the culture. But the name Sangea is from a Liberian name that would be given to a female, which is Sangea.
Oh.
Yeah, pronounced Sangea. And we changed it so that it can be unique to the group, Sangea. Yeah.
Sangea.
Yeah.
And just on that part, you talked about the group. I've seen, your group is very diverse.
Yes.
You have, Caucasians in there.
Yeah.
You have people that are coming from different places. They are black, but they're not coming from Africa. So how is the composition? Can you tell us?
We have people from Mexico. We have people from Congo, Ghana, Liberia, Canada, and Zimbabwe. So we have a lady in the group named Shasley. Her dad is from Zimbabwe, and her mom is Canadian. So we have a very wide variety of members.
That's really good. How did you recruit all this? Who was the pioneer? Was it you?
It was my wife and I. So a long time, I say a long time ago, about 2011, 2012, we were given the opportunity to start a community group through, I would say, Action for Healthy Communities. They had a seed grant, and they said, you can use the seed grant to buy some drums. And we came up with the idea to buy the drums.
Yes.
So we got the seed grant, we bought the drums, and we started with my wife and I and another friend of ours. So it was just a community group. And then our friends from high school heard about it, and they started coming to practice every Friday. And that's how everything kind of got started. And then years later, about 3-4 years after that, my wife and I decided to quit our jobs and travel to Mexico to study West African drumming and dance.
In Mexico?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, I would say some of the drum masters now travel to Mexico and they live there because it's easier to live there instead of going to the United States.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they are Africans, but they live in Mexico.
Yes. And one of the pioneers of the djembe, called Mamadi Keita, he has academy all over the world, in Italy, in France, in Japan, in China, all over the world. So he was based in Mexico at the time. So we said that would be the perfect opportunity to go. So we went, we quit our jobs, went there to study under him to become certified.
Wow, you know what? This is a very good story because you quit your job and you don't know if this is going to give you any...
No.
And you just quit your job. Yeah. How was that process to just decide that you're going to and your wife is from Liberia as well?
No, she's from Mexico.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So tell me about it. how did you decide to just quit the job? Because you have no idea. You're just going to learn how to do this.
Yeah, we learned that we've been trying to follow him since he was in the United States. First he was in Europe, he went to the United States, and now we found out he was in Mexico. We're like, okay, it's a little bit cheaper to travel to Mexico and quit our job and live there for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, so we decided to quit our job. It was very scary because nothing is certain. We don't know how we're gonna pay the bills and how we're gonna. But we took a leap of faith and we just went for it. We quit, went for it, and when we got there, he said, "Well, when we got there, they said that they canceled the program because they didn't have a lot of people joining in the program at the time." And we told him, "Hey, we quit everything. You can't cancel it." So he decided to run the program with just a few people, and it was kind of like a private program.
Yeah.
So that was really great.
That is faith.
Yeah.
That is faith.
Yeah.
I've always been fascinated with your dancing and playing drums, these things are practically very difficult activities to do, but they're very uplifting at the same time, right? How did you decide that you were going to be a drummer? And of course you dance also. So, yeah.
That, I feel like that part, it chose me because ever since I was a kid, growing up in Liberia, because the culture is about the drumming and the dance, and it's about music, all the beautiful colors. So they would have drummers parading around the communities. Every time I saw that, I would be so terrified. I was afraid when I saw it. I was afraid but excited at the same time, and I didn't want to get too close because they would do this they call it magic trick, where they would do all these weird stuff. Yeah, and it was so cool to me, and I was afraid of it. And then over time, I just fell in love with it. And then I never had a drum in West Africa. I always wanted a drum. I never got a chance to own my own drum or have one. Anyways, we came to Canada. In high school, they said that there's a drumming workshop going on, or there's a drumming club. What I know about drumming, they play. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be wild. I went there and they were like, so if you have any rhythm, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm here to learn it. So they kind of got started there, and then over time, the little that I knew, I started sharing and also learning, and then I became the leader of the drumming club there. And then sometimes I'll leave high school to go and teach a workshop and then come back to class.
Wow.
It was tricky, it was scary, but it was fun. It was a nice journey.
Wow. Just before we go to that, because I see the djembe here, just before we go to that, how has it been for you being a drummer in Edmonton, Canada, coming all the way from Liberia and having to stop everything and just have this as a career?
Oh, it's been, I'll say, it's been tricky. It's been up and down. It's been very emotional. It's been so many things. That experience have taught me so much. Mostly, I would say, learning from the failures, because it's so important to learn from your failures.
Yes.
Failing at so many things had a big impact on my career. So at the beginning, it was very difficult learning all the different rhythms, and I was just learning it just for fun. So when we were at the very beginning here in Canada, it was just for fun, playing in the community, having fun. And then over time, I started getting the point. It started making sense, like, okay, this is not just for fun, it's a very powerful instrument, and this can be used for so much more. So I started learning about the history and the culture and why they play it and the importance of that. And then I remember when I started, I would go to schools, and then when I entered, even sometimes it happened, but not a lot anymore. I'll go to the classes, and so as soon as I entered, it's usually the younger kids, they'll start crying from seeing me because they haven't seen anyone with a dreadlock.
Oh, my goodness.
So, and this wasn't that popular. So they'll cry when they see me, and the more I did it, they started getting used to it, and now it's like, oh, you're the guy, and that made me very, very happy because I felt accepted in the schools and and everywhere else. Because sometimes when you have the drum, people want to take pictures with you, but then if you don't have the drum, it's a whole different thing, right? You're not at school, so. But it's been a fun journey. Like I got the importance of playing the djembe and some benefits of actually playing the djembe. Like I learned that when you use your both hands at the same time when playing, you're activating your right side of your brain and your left side of your brain at the same time. So it's very important for your development. I didn't know that. I just thought it was just like something cool.
I should start playing.
Right?
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Yeah, this is, because I also learned that it's a very spiritual kind of instrument, and we're coming to that because, and congratulations, I think your group is certified to go into Edmonton School.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, school board and public schools to do that, and I think the kids will be able to now acclimatize properly with you guys.
Thank you.
And I understand you have a Djembe instructor. Are you the Djembe instructor?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So you now are the instructor, so you do those workshops with different people and stuff. And I also learned that the spiritual meaning, there's a spiritual meaning to it. I think you were trying to explain to me, but can you just explain further what is that spiritual meaning that the Djembe has?
The Djembe, the word is a Malinke word from Guinea, West Africa. Djembe means to gather together in peace. Djembe, to come together in peace. So whenever you're playing peacefully, you're in a circle. And when you're playing, it's about the community, and we connect with the community. And when you play the music or the djembe or the instrument the way it's supposed to be played, you can get a healing power, or you feel a healing from the instrument. Let's say you have a little bit of anxiety, you feel anxious or a little bit stressed, and in that moment when the instruments are being played, because they're different sounds, they create different sounds, and the vibration, you feel the vibration and the sound, the frequency coming together. In that time, you can feel some sort of healing from that. And then the more you listen and the more you play, it helps over time. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I'm just going to let you play for now, because we want our viewers to, listen to us and and just get some healing from that.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
That is amazing. It actually was doing something to me, right? I don't know, but because you feel that energy, coming through to you as well. How do you create the pieces that you play?
Nice. The songs that we're playing, they date back hundreds of years. So most of the rhythms that we play, we're just repeating those rhythms that were passed on, because every rhythm has a significance. Let's say if there's a full moon, there'll be a rhythm.
Oh.
Like here in our society, we have graduation. So when there's a rites of passage, when the kid hit a certain age, there's a specific rhythm that they'll play, and then to celebrate that. So every occasion has a specific rhythm. So we use those rhythms and we just add our own creation to it, but we try not to change it too much because we want to keep the essence of the rhythm. So we'll just add a little bit of creation, like to make it exciting, because if we're playing for someone who doesn't really know the instrument or who's never heard it, or even if you've heard it before, if it's not as exciting to you, we have to make it entertaining for the person. So we add some things to it, and then the dances are the same thing. We take the traditional dances and then add on to it to make it more spectacular for the audience.
Wow, I just love the fact that you are so connected, even when you speak. Your passion, you're so connected to your music, and in the drum itself, it's like it's really part of you. Yeah. How did you do that? I'm sure it's practice and stuff, but it's just like you're spiritually connected to this, and I can see that. It's like singing or voice, you know, you're trying to communicate something to other people. So how do you make sure that you communicate this language to, you know?
That's a very profound question. Like you said, it's practice, a lot of practice. Also, it's knowing the instrument you're playing. It's knowing the wood. It's also knowing the type of rope to use and the type of skin that you need. Because it's the rope, the wood, the skin, and the tension you have on the drum that helps create the sound. And also you put your energy into that. It gives like you become one with that instrument. So it's years of practice and also years of learning how to pick your right skin and learning how to build the instrument. So we had to learn how to build it to be a djembe master. A great djembe master once told me, in order to be a master, you need to learn how to build your own drum. You need to learn what skin you need, how to tune it up. You need to know everything about the instrument in order to become the master.
So this drum was built by you?
Not this particular one, but I changed the skin on this one. Yeah. But I know how to build my own drum.
Wow. Yeah. So that's just amazing, because it's a very, like you said, spiritual and very, you know, that connectivity that you have between, you know how you want it to be. Yeah. You know, it's like it knows you, you know it, and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
How? Like I'm just amazed.
Yeah, the drum is your best friend. So when you're, like, at the beginning when I was playing it, I was just hitting it. But now when I play it like that, the first 3 notes I hit, that when I hit the bass in the middle, you feel it, it connects to the heart. You hit the tone, because we have 3 notes, the bass, the tone, the slap. Each note, you get connected to your drum more. So every time you play, you make sure all your sounds are clean, so that when you play it and you're playing with other drummers, everything works together. But if it's muddy, like in society, if we're not working together as a team, it falls apart. So it's kind of like that. So we have to make sure our part is clean, you're connected very well, you're well grounded. And then when you play as a community, you are more cohesive.
So that brings me to something else that I wasn't even thinking about. When you communicate this to, because I think this comes from, originates from Mali, right? Is it Mali?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is Africa. Yeah. And the whole of Africa, they have the Djembe some way, and they play the Djembe and whatnot. And then when we come here, as Africans as well, Black people, we sometimes don't even get along. Yes. Right? Yeah. The concept of the Djembe, when it's brought like the way you are talking about, is it something you want to communicate to the communities that can come together and be together and work together? That's, you know, is that something that you want to communicate?
Yes, when we teach the workshop or when we give workshop, it's about that. We do workshop in schools, and it's about community, because when people see the drum, they just want to play, do whatever they want, but then we tell them, you can't just do whatever you want.
It's like divine.
Yes, you have to work as a team and make sure your pieces are all connected. So it's a collective, we play as a collective. Wow. Very, very important.
I love the meaning to it, and I love the fact that, you know, this has to be taught for real in all of our communities, especially in the Black community. They need to understand the meaning of this, because it originates from
Yes.
where we come from. I think this is very, very important because it brings about peace,
Yes.
right, and unity, and that's just amazing. Now, did you start music?
This was the musical journey.
Oh,
So,
this was the
this was
musical
my
journey.
yeah, because I went to, so we traveled to Mexico to
Yeah.
take the courses.
Yeah.
And then every year like that was back in the day, we still
Yeah.
do that every year.
Yeah.
We take classes from different masters. We sit down with them and we go into our, I would say, intense training. When you're done the training, your arms are falling off. So we do those intense
Yeah.
trainings and we learn the culture, the history about all those rhythms. Because a long time ago, they used to pass on those information
Yeah.
as a oral
Yeah.
tradition. But now we can write them down and take notes and even record them. So that's, we learn every year. So every year we go travel, learn, and then come back
Yeah.
and share it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's just amazing. And I know that you are doing a lot of things in the community at Sangea group, dancing group, and also drumming, and they go around. But do you have a foundation that you work with? Just the way you are explaining to me, it feels as though you have to have that foundation that you help out to give back. I know you're giving back to the community all the time, but where people can actually support you and, give back to support your foundation in, memory or of this drum. Yeah.
I would say we still do every once in a while. We used to work with Action for Healthy Communities because we started with them.
Yeah.
We used to practice at their space, and we had the thing where we practice and then we do performances at their events. And then we also work with John Humphrey Center a long time ago, Catholic Social Services. Before Sangea started, I used to volunteer. We would perform for about 7 years or so. It was almost like volunteering. Now, because Sangea is a non-for-profit organization, it is not a non-for-profit, sorry.
It's a profit.
It is a for-profit.
Okay.
Business. So when we go perform, we do get paid. But then sometimes when we do perform, based on where the money is going, we communicate with the band. Okay. So we choose maybe one event or one thing we want to donate to that year, one or two depending. And we do that.
Yeah.
But it is a for-profit, so we do workshops, performances.
You've done a lot of things now, going around events, and you guys are popular. What next? What's your plan for the next 3 to 5 years? Because I think you have an academy, which probably you don't have your own building. So can you explain what you're going to be doing in the next 3 to 5 years?
With the academy, we have a different system. Because when we started, we started out, it was Afrofit. It was Sangea Academy, and we started doing Afrofit, which is African dance and fitness. We used to rent the studio, and we had issues with having people come in every week and then paying, so we were paying the space, and we decided to just, instead of staying in one spot, we decided to go out to the schools. So they already have the building, they already have the space. We just go there, and then we run the workshop, and that way we're able to share the word a lot more and a lot faster. So we can do, I would say, sometimes we do close to 100 workshops a month, sometimes. And it's because of the new system that we have, and that helps us, I would say, cut costs on the building. But eventually, in the future, we would probably need our own big building.
Yes, we want to see Sangea Academy and rooms and everything and whatnot. That's what we want to see. You're doing a great job in the community and around Canada as well, because I know you've been to Calgary, you've been all over in Canada as well. And just, coming from Africans, in making the difference that you are making in the community and the society, it's very important. thank you so much for coming. I think that was a great, great conversation. I know that our viewers are very happy today to learn about the Djembe, which I didn't know, how divine and spiritual this is. And that's how our forefathers used to communicate to each other as well, right? Any last thoughts that you want to talk to our viewers? Where to find you? Sangea, you can talk to the viewers.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me once again. Like, it was great communicating with you. I know we've been trying to plan it, and we finally did it. So thank you so much. And congratulations on what you're doing as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, great, great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Again, this is Tapestry with Miriam on Fusing channel. We are talking to Sangea, and great conversation with Reckie here, who is part of the who's the member of Sangea and Djembe Instructor. I will come for that. Thank you for coming once again.
Thank you.